Hello everyone, my name is Quinn Knight and welcome back to the channel, and today I just wanted to cover something that has been on my mind all week and something I've seen a lot of people discussing and for the most part the community is not very happy about, and that is the shockingly low quality of the cosmetics and skins that are coming from DICE in comparison to the absolutely jaw-droppingly well executed cosmetics and just content in general being made by members of the community. In case all of this flew under your radar, earlier this week a creator by the name of Rollickster released an all-new project that he's clearly been working on for a very long time, one that allows you to play as Commander Cody in Star Wars Battlefront II. You can use it online, offline, whatever you want, and it is truly incredible just how much effort was put into making Cody as authentic and detailed as possible. It's far more impressive than anything DICE has released since the solo season, and is leaps and bounds better than the clone skins that were released last week, to put it mildly. To be clear, what he created was not a simple reskin. Cody has a ton of unique features. A very professional looking trailer was made showcasing everything and all the details he includes, such as a brand new weapon, that being the DC-15S, 3 separate and completely unique appearances, those being Phase 1, Phase 2, and helmetless, custom star cards, voice lines for Commander Cody, custom ability icons, a brand new loading screen. He even has unique music for when you spawn in on the map, and even more on top of all that. But keep in mind, this was created by one very passionate fan of Battlefront 2, not a AAA dev studio. Just one guy had a mission to bring Commander Cody to Battlefront 2, and he succeeded by absolutely any standard. That being said, when you compare what this one fan has created to the 2 Clone Legion skins that released last week, it really makes you wonder how it's even possible for a AAA studio to release something so incredibly lackluster. In case you weren't or aren't familiar with the different Clone Wars Legions, the 2 appearances that were released last week were not very well received by the community, as they are very inaccurate and look almost nothing like their canon counterparts. The 41st Legion should look like this or this, but in-game they look like this, which is just a very generic camo texture wrapped around existing skins. So generic in fact that you can find that exact camo texture on Google Images. Compare DICE's version to this mod created by another member of the community, and it's just so sad if you think about what they could have accomplished with just a little bit of extra effort. When it comes to the 327th Star Corps, well, they should look like this, but instead we got this hot mess where they even got the colors wrong, which seems nearly impossible to do. If I am being honest, I'm not generally someone who gets too worked up over something being different from canon, especially in a game like Battlefront 2, but in this case, not only are these appearances nothing like their canon counterparts, these skins have been officially released by DICE and I can only assume approved by someone over at Lucasfilm, but they are also just plain ugly, particularly in the case of the 41st Elite Corps. It's clear there was little to no effort put into making these appearances, which is very frustrating when you consider just how long we've been waiting, and even more frustrating when you realize that DICE is very capable of doing great things with both hero and trooper appearances. Some of the hero skins like Leia's Bausch outfit and the solo skins for Lando and Han were all very well done, and the details were impressive by any standards. The voice work was a little shoddy at best, but I definitely don't regret for a second spending all my credits on those appearances. But in the case of the new clone skins, I really wish I had taken even a second and watched some gameplay before purchasing, because I would have never bought them if I had known just how poor they looked in-game. To be honest, I've been happy with every purchase I've made before this, and with the exception of Band-Aid Chewie, pretty much every appearance DICE has released has looked pretty good to straight up phenomenal. They did take an absurd amount of time for a studio like DICE to make in the first place, but I would be lying if I said they hadn't done a good job in the past. But with these Clone Legions, they really dropped the ball, especially when you consider that these skins have been in the files since launch, and while most people, myself included, just assumed the versions in the files were unfinished and would be fixed later, DICE had all this time and still put the skins out as they were. To this day, I still find it absurd how many fantastic hero skin opportunities DICE has missed out on. I totally understand that truly unique appearances take some time to create, but there are probably a dozen or so skins that are either already in Battlefront 2 in one way or another but not available for us to purchase, or would take a very small amount of effort and would excite the community without question. I think the most prominent and obvious example would be Hooded Darth Maul, which is probably the single most requested appearance by the community and would take such a small amount of effort for a huge return on investment. Literally all the team needs to do is just give the guy a hood, just like they did with Yoda, and people would go wild for that. I know I would really welcome some appearances for the heroes that don't have any alternate skins, which is nearly half of them to this day, while some other heroes have more than 5. Other very very obvious ones include the Bausch Leia skin without the mask and voice changer, which truly astounds me was not included when they added that outfit in the first place. I actually took the Bausch outfit off the other day for the first time in a long time because I actually wanted to hear some English dialogue, but they could easily do a skin with the outfit, but no mask, just like in episode 6 after Leia rescues Han. If you spend more than 5 minutes over at the website for downloading Battlefront II mods, you will see dozens of alternate appearances that would be so easy for DICE to release, as all of the assets are already made, but they just don't put them out there for whatever reason. Jacketless Finn, hoodless Kylo Ren, Rebel Pilot Luke, or Stormtrooper Han, there are endless possibilities, but DICE would rather release half-finished clone skins, which has me and a lot of others frustrated. I suppose the best thing about all of this is that starting next month, we probably won't be too worried about new appearances for quite a while, as Grievous is literally coming next month. Obi-Wan and Grievous are dropping the month after, and then Count Dooku and Anakin Skywalker shortly after that. But once the Clone Wars content dies down and we're asking ourselves what's next, I really hope DICE steps up to the plate and steps up their game when it comes to appearances. From what I've been hearing lately from the devs and others, I don't think Clone Wars is it for this game. I do think that the Clone Wars season will be the big event, and nothing after it will come close to that level of content, but I do think this game will be supported for at least a full year from now, with new appearances and possibly one more full season. I am still holding out hope for a Rogue One season, but I swear if DICE decides to give us a bandaged Jyn Erso skin, that will be the final straw for me. I'll just say that. I don't see this game having the plug pulled with how many players are still very active and how small the team currently is. It's not like they have a huge team on this game where they need to just pull the plug. It's a small team and it's Star Wars. They don't want to pull the plug and get even worse PR with this game. This game is in such a better place from where it was at launch. They pretty much overhauled everything underneath the surface. For how much the community, and I include myself in that, complains that we haven't really got much content, which is true from a certain point of view, DICE has pretty much rebuilt this game from the ground up. I remember when this game first dropped and leaving a match would literally take longer than it would to just close the game, reopen it, and join a new match. Progression was a complete joke when this game first came out, and the amount of bugs make the problems with today's version of the game look like a complete joke. So they've definitely made a lot of progress, which is why it's a shame to see the actual content being added being so lackluster lately, because like I've said, this game is great, but the post-launch content really hasn't been. I am still hoping that Grievous, Obi-Wan, and the other heroes will not be low effort like those Clone Wars skins were. I am hoping for well thought out, unique heroes that really hold their own without skewing the balance of the game for the worse. Finn and Phasma took a lot of tweaking to feel as though they could kind of fit into the balance of Battlefront 2, and honestly, Phasma still feels awkward to me when you consider just how stilted her staff strikes are. But with all that aside, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I just wanted to take a minute and talk about the decline in quality that last update showed when it came to the appearances, and introduce those of you who are not familiar with some of the amazing content being made by the community to some of the best mods out there. I definitely recommend checking them out. There is really a whole other side of this game that those of you not on PC have not had the chance to experience. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to drop a like, and if you are new around here, absolutely make sure you subscribe, as we would be honored if you would join us. Thank you all so much for watching, and bye.
days are gonna get better. I'm so happy the carbonite is gone. I'm holding on. I'm so happy the pain is gone. I'm ashamed to cover my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo. I'm running roll out.